So that's what worship is. Now let's talk about those ways that we can apply it to our lives. When Pastor Kevin shared with the church, he shared an acronym that God shared with me that sums up the steps that I need to worship fully. Just like that worship that was mentioned in John 4:23 and 24. But the hour is coming, and now is, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For the Father is seeking such to worship him. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Spirit and in truth. Again, as I was preparing this sermon, I asked God, spirit and in truth. How are we even going to do that, God? And God told me, you can't. Not can't. That's how he speaks to me. You can't. Not in your own strength. You'll fail every time. So the acronym that I want to share with you this morning is HOP. H-O-P. The H stands for humility. The O, obedience, and the P, provision. Let's talk about humility. We must acknowledge that although we were indeed made to worship, God does not need us to worship him. He wants us to worship him. Satan was too created for worship, but was overcome with pride. We cannot let our own knowledge, skills, or lack thereof stand in the way of our connection to the Holy Spirit. Without the Holy Spirit present, we are simply singing songs for our own fulfillment. Obedience. God has given us spiritual gifts to be used as we worship. We know that because he will give opportunities to use that gift to glorify his name. Sometimes it can be a gift we really don't want to use, let's be honest. Or the assignment can come at a time that we really don't want to use it during. Saying yes to God, sometimes before even knowing what he's going to ask, is an act of worship in itself. By putting your trust completely in him. Obedience. Now, after you do those first two, now we have provision. God will provide the things you need to worship him like he intended you to. He will give you the piano proficiency or the vocal ability, the patience, the work ethic. He'll give you the friend. He'll give you the people. He'll give you the volunteers. He'll give you the open mind. He'll give you the discernment. He'll give you whatever you need, church. In addition to your spiritual gift, to provide God with that sacrifice you're first willing to give him. I spent time also diving into this word provide. And I split it in half as well. Pro and vide. And most of us probably know that pro can be associated with positivity or something good for you. But I want to focus on these definitions that I found, and it's favoring, or before, or in front of, or forward. And vide is see, and I did find another language, and I just want to say it. It's pronounced vide. Thought that was fancy, so I wanted to say it. Provide. When you look at it that way, you understand that when God provides, he's giving you a glimpse of his promise, a glimpse of his plan, because let me tell you, if he gave me the whole plan right out the gate, I just messed the whole thing up. I'm sure if anyone else is like me, it's just me, that's fine. I understand. But he turns our heads toward the direction we need to go. Hence the word provision. This is my current personal philosophy. I would say for worship, I need to hop just before I choose songs, before I lead worship, before I prepare a song, because hopping brings me higher. And when I am higher, I'm closer to God. So when I hop, I must humble myself and make sure pride is not a factor. Be obedient to the calling that has been placed on me, and tune in to what God has already provided me with to worship/sacrifice.